All right. Welcome back, everybody. It's TSG Live. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know what it is. Today is August the 5th. We got a 4-game slate. Let's get into it. The first game of the night, we have the Mercury going up against the Atlanta Dream. Coffee sip. Let's do this. The Mercury just came off a very strong game against the Chicago Sky. Kelsey Plum got traded and immediately played and immediately made an impact. 20 points, 3 threes, 4 assists. What a debut. It's kind of funny because I feel like Anissa Merrill had a very good debut for the Temple as well. But Wnba Brown 14 points. Alyssa Thomas triple-double. I seen that coming. Kalia still on that heater. 31 points, 4 threes, 4 rebounds. The Chicago Sky played a very interesting game. I say that because I'm not exactly sure why Sydney Taylor didn't play much of the fourth quarter. And she was leading the team in threes going into the fourth quarter and pretty much halfway through the fourth quarter. Courtney Vandersloot started to get into a groove towards the end of the fourth quarter. Shout out to Camila Cardoso for her double-double, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Courtney Vandersloot double-double, 16 points, 10 assists. Natasha Cloud, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. The team was playing very well. Let me just say that. It was not that the team was not playing well. Dejanay Carrington, 16 points, seatbelt. She was playing very well, getting to the free throw line. I just felt as though that towards the end of the game, the Mercury still was struggling with the offense, and I felt as though that you could have utilized Sydney Taylor a lot more. I mean, obviously, we've seen what she could do offensively. The 27 attempts is a lot, but to go from 27 attempts to 10 attempts, that's a lot of buckets just left on the court that I think that she can make. With that being said, I think that the Sky, I'll get to that game later, but I do think the Sky will continue to groove and get better. But for the Mercury, I think that the Mercury are going to continue to ride this wave. I think that Kelsey, Kalia, and Alyssa are about to go on a scoring tear. I like Dewana Browner for threes because it isn't as much of an offensive necessity for her anymore, being as though that Kelsey Plum is there. I like Kelsey for maybe 4 to 5 assists. I like Alyssa Thomas to still do her thing, maybe around 12 to 15 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. I still am going to stay there. Natasha Mack has been playing good beside her as well. For the Atlanta Dream, actually, I want to see if Alicia Gray is in. She took a nasty fall trying to defend Jackie Young against the Aces the other night, and man, she's so tough. Alicia Gray is so tough. Just for even finishing the game, she literally landed on her face and still did her thing, man. Shout out to Alicia Gray. I like Jordan Canada. Let me go back real quick. I like Jordan Canada for 6 assists. Of course, I like Angel Reese to get a double-double or close to it. I like her for 15 points and maybe 10 rebounds. Ryan Howard woke up last game. Offensively, she started the game. I believe she had the first 5 points for the Dream, and for me, that's a big deal because she's been in a crazy shooting slump. So for her to get on the board early, it really showed, and that's where actually, if we go back, because I just want to if we go back, we can see right here Ryan Howard, 19.7 for 13, 3 threes. She's been in a shooting slump. I don't think she's been struggling to get past 10 points, let alone 15 points. So I think that's amazing. Angel Reese, 23 points and 16 rebounds, amazing. Brianna Jones, 9.7 minutes. She's playing very well behind Angel, and in this game, I knew that Brianna Jones was going to be needed, and this will probably be the same thing tonight. I'm not going to say points, but I like Brianna Jones for maybe around 4 rebounds. They're going to need someone to be in here with Alyssa Thomas because she can't just be physical with Angel Reese all game. I always circle with the mouse. I've noticed that in videos. I got to stop doing that. So, not to get too far off track, I do like Ryan Howard to continue in the direction that she was going. I like her for maybe around 15 points, possibly 13 points. I like her for around 2 threes. I do like her to get maybe around, I noticed on some where maybe 2 rebounds and maybe 3 assists, but I think it's one or the other with Ryan Howard. If she's having an off shooting night, she's going to be productive in other areas. If she's hot from shooting, she kind of lays off and doesn't worry and lets the team kind of do those things. So, with that, I like Angel Reese for maybe 15 points, 10 rebounds, even 9 rebounds, 8 rebounds. I'm not mad at that. I like Alyssa Thomas for almost a triple-double, which she's averaging, which is around 15 points, around 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. I like Kelsey Plum for around 15 points. I like her for around 5 assists. And I like Kalia Copper for around 20 points and for probably 2 threes. That's what we're going to take for this Mercury and Dream game. Our next game, we have the Storm and the Liberty. The Storm and Liberty game. The Storm have been getting into a better groove. If I'm correct, these two definitely played not too long ago, but they might have. Yeah, I was gonna say they actually played each other again. A lot of. I think for some reason Seattle seems to play like the same teams twice a lot this season. And with that being said, let's get into this. Flage definitely shook off, but one of the things I was gonna mention. Come on, yo. I feel like when I am I feel like when Flage plays the Lynx, she plays up. She enjoys playing the Lynx. She likes Brianna Stewart. She loves Stewie, actually. If you've seen the clip of her getting Stewie's Pumbas that Flage was wearing autographed by Stewie, she loves Stewie. And I think that just gets her excited to play the Liberty. Even go out on the limb and say, don't be surprised if you see Flage in a Liberty jersey at some point. I could see that happening as well. But Seattle loves her, so that's a different conversation. But Natasha Hotterman, 17.7 assists. Jade Melbourne, we got hooked on this game. I needed Melbourne for 5 assists. She had 4. It's okay. Dominique Malunga, 17.6 rebounds. Lizzie Magnagor, 5 rebounds. Not too many points. Anticipated that though. Awad Pham, 4 points, 9 rebounds. So pretty much that game went the way that was expected with Awad and Dominique Malunga getting the rebounds. Natasha Hotterman and Flage being the offensive, power behind there. And then for the Liberty, the same thing. 24 points from Stewie, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Jonquel Jones, 20 points, 4 threes. I knew she was going to have a bounce-back game. She needed that. Same thing, not for Sabrina as far as a bounce-back game, but 4 threes, 18 points, 5 assists. Very expected. I do expect to see somewhat of the same things in this game. I do like Marina Jonas for 2 threes. Again, I think that they'll probably try to get her incorporated. They typically do that on back-to-back teams, or when they want to go with a different look to start the game, the Liberty. I do like Sabrina for threes. I do like Jonquel Jones for points and rebounds. I would go with around 6 rebounds, and I would go with around 15 to 13 points for Jonquel Jones. I'm going to stay away from the threes just because it's been very streaky, but she will get her points unless she has a completely off night. Sabrina, Stewie, same thing. Maybe around 20 points, 15 to 20 points, maybe around 6 rebounds. I'm going to stay away from Stewie's assists just because I think that they are looking at different options with the Liberty because their offense is fully healthy. So just to kind of group this game up, I kind of expect the same thing. I expect Dominique Malunga to have around 8 to possibly 10 rebounds. She possibly be able to get 10 points. I like Natasha Hotterman and Flage to be the offensive powerhouses. I like them for both 15 points. I like Natasha Hotterman for around maybe 5 assists. I like Awad Pham for a couple of rebounds as well. For the Liberty, Stewie, Jonquel Jones, Sabrina, and the special pick is Miss Marina Jonas for 2 threes. That's that game. Moving on to the Wings and the Mystics game. Coffee break. I think that the Wings are coming to Washington, D.C. for blood. Very simply put, the Mystics beat them at home in Dallas. This was coming off another loss that the Wings took to the Dream. That's this 2-game loss streak right here. These were really bad losses, and this was the beatdown to make up for these losses. The Mystics are going to show up. Like I said, for that game, the Mystics are playing competitive basketball. Every team, they're showing up, they're playing competitive basketball, and that's just what it is. So, with a game like this, I'm going to almost stick to the same props that I did the last game. I think Miss Citron will have around 15 points, possibly 20. I like Shakira, Austin, and Kiki to both have around maybe 12 to 15 points, and both of them to have around 7, 8 rebounds. I think Miss Citron could definitely get some assists. I think she's been trying to get more back into her offensive groove. And again, I wasn't aware of this, but the Mystics last played the Wings. They haven't played anybody since then. The Wings went and played the Connecticut Suns. So they should come back to this game with a little bit more, in their system, pretty much. But yeah, I like Miss Citron for about 5 assists as well, around the same thing. And for the Wings, I I think that they're going to again. Let's just look at this game. I think that the Wings are not going to do this again, and I don't think that they're going to do this again, and I don't think that they're going to do this again. They need Jessica Shepard to be more offensively involved. Enrique and Paige both having 20 is beautiful, but not in a loss. Jessica Shepard leading the team in assists, beautiful, but not in a loss. Paige had 2 assists. She was very passive. Even though she had 23 points, she was still 9 for 18, and she needs to be more aggressive. She was 2 or 5 from 3. I understand that Enrique is trying to, get out of a slump, but I think that it's disrupting the team, and those losses kind of accounted for that. So in this game, I like Jessica Shepard for about 15 points, maybe 10 rebounds, 4 assists. I like Paige Becker for around 6 assists, around 20 points. I like Ozzy Flood for around 10 to 11 points, and possibly 2 threes. And I'm so on the fence with Enrique just this season. I know they're trying to get her out this slump, but I just think that, forcing the ball is really not going to do well. Paige took 9 attempts in the last game against the Suns. Very passive. 4 assists, you know what I mean? And I love that they're getting Enrique these 9 attempts, that 15 points. That's fine. But this is where it has to stop for Enrique. I'm sorry. At this point, with this team, it has to stop at 9 attempts. I'm sorry. If you don't get it then, that's it. But I do think that they come back and they come out for blood against the Mystics. I think that they do want this game. I don't think they like the loss that they took. I know Shakira Austin dropped 28 on them, was popping it all night. So it's like, I think that this will be a competitive game still again. I think 167 for the total is actually pretty low. I think they go over just in the sense of, yes, it's going to be defensive, but I think that these two teams want to actually score on each other. I think they want to give each other buckets. So I do think that the over on that is a given. The Wings can put up 100 points by themselves, depending on the night, and the Mystics can score as well, depending on the night. So I definitely think that that over, I'm liking how that's looking right there. And that -2.5, if the Wings really show up, that -2.5, they can cover that as well. The Storm may be able to cover that -8.5. That is a lot of points. And I think the Mercury may be able to cover that 6.5 against the Atlanta Dream Team that has struggled. And they're feeling a lot different. So I'm actually going to not do the Sparks in the Chicago Sky game. I'm going to watch that just to see what the Sky do, how they utilize Sydney Taylor in this game, and kind of just do some research. So with that, that will lead into tomorrow night. We have 3 games for the rest of the week, and I believe on Sunday we have the 4-game slate again. Yes, so that will lead into the back-to-back. So I'm gonna do research for the Sparks tonight, see what they do. I'm gonna do research for the Chicago Sky tonight, see what they do. They do have 2 games off after tonight, so they may let Sydney Taylor off the leash again. Don't hold me to that, but having 2 games off will do them pretty good, I think, on the court as well, playing that physical game with the Mercury. So we'll see how it goes. I think the Sky may come in and be ultra physical with the Sparks because they were just playing the Mercury. It kind of just happens, but we'll see. With that, I appreciate it if you got to this point in the video. Please drop a like, drop a comment. It helps the video tremendously. It's TSG Live. If you take anything, drop a comment. You know what I mean? Let's make some money. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video. We out of here. Let's go.